Let's do some makeup. I've already done my skincare, so now I'm starting out with the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation in the color Natural Buff. I always go one shade warmer than my skin, and I'll tell you why in a second. As we get older, our skin gets more translucent, and all those lovely purples and greens kind of peek through. If I match my skin exactly, I'm going to look a little washed out. So I go one shade warmer just to make me look a little bit more alive. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I actually used way too much foundation here. This is why I always say start with less. You can always build it up. I think it's really easy to put on way too much, but if you've overdone it, don't panic. We're just going to grab our beauty blender and we're going to blend. I use my Stands Out Beauty Sponge every day, and I actually use it dry because it picks up the extra foundation and keeps it from settling into fine lines. And yes, if you've got short hair like me, don't forget the ears. Whatever's left on the sponge goes right over them so everything matches. This foundation was really made for us women over 50. I think L'Oreal really got this right. It stretches with the skin, it hydrates without looking greasy, it doesn't cling to dry patches, and it gives a light to medium coverage that you can build up. Goodbye! Come back and see me! I thought I'd throw that in right here because I'm probably about to lose some people. My makeup is going to look really weird until the last minute when it all comes together. But trust the process. Now we're going to move along to a very controversial subject, blush placement. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Instead of putting it smack on the apples of the cheeks, I'm going to place it above the apple. At almost 59, if I put the blush right on the apple, gravity is going to help it slide south and it's going to drag my whole face down. Some other things I'm not doing. I'm not placing streaks across my cheek like war paint. That never looks natural. And let's be clear, I'm not doing any TikTok trends created by 20-year-olds where they put the blush all the way up by the temples. That's not a lift, that's a Pikachu on a sugar high. What we really want out of our blush is simple. Life. Just a little color that wakes the face back up. Don't think of blush as just cheeks. Think of it as warmth, bringing blood flow back into the skin. That's what makes you look healthy and fresh. Blush is one of those things that can instantly bring your face to life. Okay, let's talk about brows. Living in Alabama, it's hot and humid, and I don't want to fool with melting brows. So that's why I generally start out with the iMethod Beauty Brow Stamp in shade 05. These are waterproof and sweat-proof, and the stamp is going to give me shape instantly, and honestly, it's faster than using a pencil, especially when your brows are as bare as mine. It takes just a few seconds for that to set up, and then I'm going to use my iMethod Beauty 4D pen in shade 01, and I'm going to add some little hair-like strokes. I love this pen for adding hair-like strokes, but let me be very transparent. If you don't put the cap on tight, it will dry out. If you don't shake it before using it, the color will come out clear. If you've got a shaky hand, your little hair-like strokes will look like lightning bolts. And if you apply too much pressure, you're going to get a blob. The good news is if you can do a light pressure stroke, you can absolutely do this. Just remember, always apply on clean, dry skin or over a pomade. Otherwise, you can have all kinds of problems with the product not sticking or looking shiny. Brows are done, so let's prime. I'm using the P. Louise, not my all-time favorite, but if I want my colors to really pop and stay put, this is it. The trick is using the tiniest amount because it's thick. What I do love is that it gives me a true blank canvas. No redness or veins changing the color of the eyeshadow. Speaking of eyeshadow, let's make a stunning look with this simple palette. It's called Morphe Rich and Foiled Artistry Palette. We're going to start with a light matte brown right in the eye socket, and then we're going to blend it up to fake a little lift on that hooded eye. As we blend this toward the brow, if we've got too much product on the brush, it's going to start looking streaky or maybe just a little too harsh. No worries though, all you're going to do is stop and clean your brush. I always keep an old washcloth nearby that I can just dry clean my brush off onto really quickly, and then continue blending. If you're like me and you're planning on wearing makeup until you die, you're going to have to become a blending ninja. We're going to grab the next darker color in the palette. We're only using 3 colors for the whole look, and one thing that I love about this is it's just very simple, but it's going to look really bougie. Now I've placed the darkest brown on the outer half of the movable lid right up into the socket, but I'm not bringing it all the way out to the corner of the eye. This is like the danger zone on my face. If I bring it out too far, it's going to make my whole eye fall and drag my face down. And listen, faces fall, that's just what they do. I'm not trying to fight it, I'm just adapting. And I'm here to help you keep showing up for yourself with the face that you have right now. Now I'm going to blend this to smithereens on fast forward, and I'm continuously checking the balance of my eye here. Of course, cleaning my brush as necessary. And in less than a minute, I'm going to show you another helpful blending tip. But first, if you've got a hooded eye like I do, it's important to bring the color up high enough so that it can be seen when your eye is relaxed and you're looking straight ahead. Okay, now for the blending tip. We're going to take that same dark brown color that we used in the contour of our eye. Tap off the excess, and then whatever's left, we're going to work it through the brush and onto our hand. Now, if we need to go back in and add a little bit more color on the top or crepey or wrinkly part of the eye, we've got just enough color on there so that we can smoothly apply it and build it up slowly. And then I'm going to use whatever's left on my brush from earlier, and I'm going to just softly frame the bottom part of my eye. Okay, it's finally shimmer time. And I know a lot of people say shimmer is a no-go on crepey lids, but hear me out. Flat, matte eyeshadow only catches light from one direction. The right shimmer, it's going to catch light from all directions, and that's what makes the eye look bright and dazzling. Here's the trick. Shimmer goes on the movable lid where it can bounce light. I don't put shimmer up into the crease. That's where we keep our mattes to contour and lift. The shimmer is kind of like the fixer, the finisher. It plays with texture, and instead of fighting crepe, which let's be honest, ain't going anywhere, it makes the eyes look more alive. All right, next up, Kosas actually sent me this eyeliner and mascara duo, so we're going to try it out together. For liner, I'm placing this just underneath the lash. Not a full tight line, but mostly along the lash line underneath. Sometimes if I do the whole waterline, it makes my eyes watery, so I've learned to do it this way, and that way I don't get the watery eye problem. This is the first time I'm using this eyeliner, but spoiler alert, I made this video over a week ago, so I can tell you that this lasted a full 10 hours and everything was still intact. The only thing I noticed when I first applied it was the tiniest bit of transfer to my lower lash line, but that was it. Pretty impressive. The liner is called Soul Gazer Intensifying Waterproof Gel in Hypnotize, and the mascara is also in Hypnotize. Now, it's a lengthening mascara and a lash boosting peptide serum all in one. I love that because who's got time for an extra step? I'm pretty much a tubing mascara kind of gal, so I don't use a lot of mascara that's not a tubing mascara, but I will say this lasted me full 10 hours, no smudging, smearing, or flaking. Oh, and it's really, really black. Unfortunately for me, I've got little short baby lashes, so I'm going to need to add a few falsies to pump up the jam. I'm going to use some underlash wisps and just place a few here and there to give myself some drama. If you need a full tutorial on how to do this, I have an amazing video for you. By the way, if I missed a product name, everything's listed in the description and the top pinned comment. Some products are available via the affiliate link on screen, and some products are not. So I'll try to link everything up so you can find everything if you're shopping. And please, if you have a question about something I did, about a technique, or if you have a question about a product, please ask. It might take me a few days to get back to you, but I will get back to you. And a lot of the products that I talk about, you might not be able to get in your country, but this is one you actually can get worldwide. This is Maxines Revenge French Face Concealer. It's both blurring and hydrating, and it makes my under eyes think that I'm a goddess. I've been using this for about 2 years now, and a tiny amount goes a long way. And it's such a versatile product. You can take a little tiny bit and actually use it all over your face as a beautiful foundation. I've actually got some videos where I've done that before, and it's just so gorgeous. I generally wear this in the light medium peach and the medium peach. They're actually kind of impressive on their shades because they've got something for everyone from the lightest to the darkest, but they've also got 2 different types of olive. Now, I know several people who use this, and some prefer to set it with a powder, and some, like me, don't. But today, we're going to set it with powder, but not just any powder. Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Color Correcting Longwear Under Eyes Setting Powder in light peach. They recently sent me this with several other colors, and oh my gosh. Well, first of all, their ultra blur setting powders are amazing. And when they sent these to me, I thought, well, what is the difference? Here's the difference. It is the finest milled powder you can imagine. It's also got glycerin and emollients in it to soothe and hydrate the skin. You're going to want the tiniest amount on your brush, and then you're going to want to tap all that out and then go in just strategically and place it in the places that you would normally crease. I'm still in experimental mode with this because it just is so fabulous. So I decided to use it anywhere I had a pore to see how it would look and to see how it worked with everything. And I'm just kind of blurring out things and setting things around my face, but watch my nose. Honestly, if I was going to buy this, I believe I would just skip buying other setting powders. I would use this under my eyes and then all over my face because it is fabulous. And it's a small container. It's about $35, but it's going to take forever to use it all. And did you see my nose? Did you see what happened there? It totally blurred out all my giant pores on my nose and got rid of the shine. I think the hardest thing about this powder is that you don't know when to stop. All right, let's move on to lips. I'm starting with the L'Oreal Color Rich Lip Liner in Au Naturel. This is the kind of shade that goes with everything, and it keeps lipstick from feathering into those little lovely lines we've all learned. Then I'm topping it with the L'Oreal Paris Satin Lipstick in Peach Fuzz. It's creamy and comfortable and one of those colors that wakes your whole face up. And that's the look. Nothing complicated. So whether you're heading out or you're getting glammed up just to stay home like me, remember, makeup isn't about rules. It's about what makes you feel incredible.